Assalamu alaikum, my dear viewers. Today, after 3 4 days, more than 3 4 days, I have come live, and you can see my cap also here, a woolen cap. Winter is there, so I really enjoy winter. And when I enjoy winter, I used to even wear the woolen cap. So I thought today to talk with my students, with my friends. Let's discuss today a new, just a few minutes I'm with you. Let's talk about some human evolution. The topic which I have chosen is a history of the human evolution. Now, human evolution is basically a topic of, you can say, biotopic, but we can also talk on it. It's not a big deal. We can also talk that what could be the history of the human being. So today, after 5 to 6 days, I did not come live. So I thought better to come and discuss with my students about any topic which comes in my mind. Uh, well, the topic is the history of the human evolution. There are certain people they believe that there are different theories. Some believe in scientific theory, some believe in the religious theory that how human being has come. So, few points I will also share about the human history. I mean the evolution of the human being. So when we talk about the evolution of the human being, there is a consensus among evolutionists today that the man first appeared in Africa approximately 4 million years ago. Now, some people say 4 million years ago, and some people say 4 billion years ago. Now, other counter this saying also, this theory. They say, when shall we speak of man as man, the timeline they give is approximately 1 million years. 1 million years, and to fully understand 1 million years is still a difficult task. It's not that much easy, it's very difficult task. However, another, even you can say, even better way to understand time and the time and the man is to study in terms of the generation. So keeping, you can say, keeping in mind the primitive people, they married and had children early. In 20 years will make an average generation. According to this, there would be 50,000 generations in a million years. Keeping this in mind, if we calculate generation, we find that 250 generations back take us to time when written history began. How? At least 250 generations. While another 250 years generation back would take us to the time, you can say, the 10,000 years ago. Now, 10,000 years ago, when civilization began and the man started settling life. So, these ideas shared by the historian, by the evolutionist. Now, when we are left with the 45,500 generations of man, plus the time span of the 99,000 years, keeping these statistics in mind, let us ask the question once more. When should we speak of a man as a man? This is the question from my audience. That do you think that what could be the time? When should we speak of a man as a man? So, uh, therefore, this you can say there are certain people. Their attempts are not only to understand the time frame, but when we can really call man in the light of so-called the history of the human evolution, but also to understand that if the species roaming the earth for a million years was truly a man's ancestor, as is claimed by Charles Darwin. You might have read it probably in first year or inter, the theory of the Charles Darwin. He has, you know that he has written one book that is the origin of his species. Then, what took man's ancestors so long to show signs of development that we only witness in the last 12,000 years? Moreover, while keeping man's progress under consideration of the last 12,000 years, it will definitely shed light on why there are serious reservations about the Charles Darwin theory of the human evolution. Now, if he is right, definitely today the monkeys, the apes would also be the human being. So Charles Darwin has also been given a kind of tough task, as many scientists, evolutionists, archaeologists, even the different religious scriptures strongly claim that man came to the earth fully developed and did not even from a lesser species. The theory of the Darwin, in some cases, that is proved that maybe you can say that there are some evolutionists, some historians, and some religious people. They have a different understanding of the human evolution. They may consider that human evolution depends on the person itself. So human history is everything has got some evolution. Whatever today we see today definitely is not whatever we see today. First, that there was a big difference. The people that they thought that today in everything you can find the evolution of the human being. Not only the human being, whatever the human being they have created, they have got also the evolution. Everything depends on the evolution. For example, you can see that today we are using for transport helicopters, we are using aeroplanes, we are using different transportation. First, these transportations were not there. People were having the different things. So, with the passage of time, the people got, they developed the transports, and today you can see that to reach from one corner of the world and to another corner of the world is not that much difficult. It's very much easy. So, in one of the most you can say remarkable understand are the understatements in the history of the science when you talk about the Charles Darwin. He wrote about his theory of evolution by natural selection, that the light will be thrown on the origin of the man and his in his history. Now, this Darwin, who has written in his book, that is origin of the species. That was practically all Darwin was prepared to share about the consequences for humankind of its history in the origin of the species. The seminal work on the modern evolutionary ideas, but everybody around him immediately understood the implications. And as the archaeological, you can say the evidence and the human fossil remains accumulated during the 19th even century, during the 19th or the 20th centuries in the combination with the genetic data. The genetic data theories of the human origins eventually became the science of the human evolution, even overlooked but central of the Darwin's original method and the force of his argument is the power of covering evidence from a number of the different disciplines and the bodies of the knowledge. But the generation, the theory of the evolution, these generally included, you can say, the different subjects are there, like the subject of the geology, the subject of the zoology, even the botany, physiology, you can say the subject of the anatomy. These subjects are really famous subjects to understand the evolution of the human being. So when you go through these subjects, selective, you can say the selective breeding, similarly human evolutionary studies today are categorized by their multidiscipline, whereas the archaeology and the paleontology have also been the center defining early, you can say the early human history, pushing the chronological boundaries of the first of the everything further back in time. They no longer stay in unique position, even today, to the understanding of the evolutionary history of the human being. So human being changes with the passage of the time. Human has never become the same, whatever you see now. The people have taken time. So when you talk about the human history, the definitely people will consider some religious point of view that hardly the 1400 or the 2000 years the history of the human being. But when you talk about these subjects which I discussed, as I told you, the entomology, even the psychology, even the zoology, you go through, you find that human history is as old as anything could be. Since the, you could say the, maybe Big Bang theory is also there, but Big Bang theory that is of 4.2 billion years ago. But maybe that human history could be there 2.5 billion years ago. So human evolution, still people, there are some certain scientists are working on it. They believe that human beings, they really, that they have taken time. There is some timeline. There is some timeline. These timeline people, that they have come to find the actual human now. Now people, especially science, believes on logic. Science believes in reasons. Science believes in that you can say with observations. When when you show any that evidence, any logic or the reasons in front of the science, you will come to know that they test it on the different platforms. And when they test on the different platform, then they realize that what is the actual cause, what is actually the result of it. Science believes in the logic and the reasons. So as I told you, that the human being, According to Darwin theory, the selection of the human. That today we are having the hands, we are having the legs, we are having the tongue to talk. It was not in the primitive history. The people start, according to science, the people were called the Flopithecus. Flopithecus was the first human being. Then afterwards, the proconsul came. After proconsul, Drypothecus came. After Drypothecus, Ornopithecus came. After Ornopithecus, Ramopithecus came. So, in slowly and gradually, now modern, we are human being, we are called as the modern Homo sapiens. Now, this Homo sapiens, the same name, one the book has been written by one of the uh, Jews philosopher, Professor Harari. He has also written about the Homo sapiens. So, Homo sapien is a modern human being. But before this, we were having also Cro-Magnon man. We were having the Nantangal. We were also having the Solo man. We were having early Homo sapiens, Homo erectus. We were having Homo erectus were also. So human being has come with the evolutions. Human being has, today whatever we see, uh, it was the human beings were not like that. They have come with a lot of time. So human evolution. So as I told you, the evolution is basically a long path. It's not very short, but it's a long path. Now with this process, we have come. Now according to Darwin theory and according to many other evolutionists, the people were first, our common ancestors were the monkeys. These were Rama. They call sometimes the Rama also. So these people used some primitive instruments, and slowly and gradually they change their shape. Even you today you see the monkeys, you'll find the similarity between the monkeys and the human being. So today I share something about the the story of the human evolution. I said you from ape-like ancestor to the modern humans. Now, maybe the people believe, and some people don't believe it. People say that we were first, that as we are here, the human beings were the same. But you can see, you can understand, there are some theories which we have come across that the human evolved from the ape-like ancestors. Then these apes were in Africa, and to Africa they became the dominant, and then culture, species occupying almost every part of the globe. So first, these monkeys are the apes were in Africa. The human evolution story begins, you can say, in Africa about, some people say that about 6 millions of years ago. 6 million years ago. But the universe came into being 4.5 billion years ago. It means over 6 million years, our ape-like ancestor evolved into upright walking tool using even the cultural modern humans spreading out across the globe. There have been many different hominid species in the past, but only one Homo sapiens, you can say the sapiens, has been ultimately successful. Now, these were ultimately successful. We are also surviving the branch of the diverse family tree. I mean, uh, how we are evolved. from ape-like ancestor to the modern humans, including when did we diverge from the apes? Who were the early hominids? When did modern humans spread out of Africa? Now, these are certain questions which need to be answered. As I told you, which question? That if we are act like humans, then there are certain questions to be asked. When did we diverge from the apes? What was the exactly age of it? Who were the early hominids? Who were the first human being? And we can also ask the question, when did modern humans spread out of Africa? Then there could be other question, what makes us a human? What are some of the adapters that evolved as humans migrated around the globe and established new cultures? In what ways are we still evolving? Means, do you think that evolution is there? Do you think the evolution changes? Do you think that whatever the shape of human being is now, after 100 years or the 200 years, it will be changed? Because evolution never ends. So throughout, you can see that we will look at how scientists study human evolution and how the discoveries made by the new scientists, they really have revolutionized what we know about the human evolution at the moment. So further, I think it's time. We talked about the Charles Darwin's book also. He has written another book that is Descent of the Human Being. So as time is going to be over, I'm going to end my presentation regarding human evolution. We'll talk, inshallah. Ta'ala. Thank you very much, all of you.